All right, hey you guys, and welcome back to Taking Flight with me, Mike Rocket Blackstone. Back here, super exciting day. It has now been 60 days since our original hearing at the Court of Appeals. We're still waiting to hear back from those three justices to see where we're at here. And, you know, some of you have been asking me some great questions, and they go, you know, why don't you leave the state? You know, why stay in California? What is it that you guys actually do? I saw your video, the man in the arena. Hear a lot of people asking questions and why I fight so hard for what it is that I'm so lucky to be able to do. And today I've got a couple of models for you here. The Spitfire and the P-51 Mustang, World War II, of course, our favorite. And I'm going to bring into a little bit of light with you why I fight so hard, literally, with this concept, why Air Combat USA is so interesting to me and it's so interesting to the public. Now, we've been doing this for literally over 34 years, and we have not been able to do air-to-air combat dogfighting since we have lost our facility at the Fullerton Airport. It becomes critical, and over time we started to realize that we do in fact need a facility, a building, a FBO, a fixed base operator with the ability to store our parts, get our planes maintained inside the hangar, change engines, paint the planes as required, and upgrade them and so on. But basically, we have not really been able to fully recover, and we can't recover from what the city of Fullerton has done to us and go back to two-ship air-to-air combat until that happens. So we're still waiting on that. But aside from that, what have we been doing since 2020 to make air combat last into the future, no matter what happens, post-pandemic, even if the justices give our building back? What's the future? What's the plans for air combat? And what I want to do first is describe why this is so cool. And what we've done during the pandemic is to create a franchise opportunity for people that are qualified, of course, get a couple of Marquettis, and I'll teach them how to do everything that we do safely and by the procedures of what way we've perfected it over the years to be able to go out and fly formation together and engage in 1-versus-1 aerial combat. What is 1v1 dogfighting? We call it BFM, and basic fighter maneuvers is the art of and science of putting another airplane into the gun sight of your aircraft and squeezing the trigger and shooting him down from another airplane. We need to solve several problems while we're doing dogfighting, and one of which is the range. We've got to get between 500 and 1,000 feet. We got to get the aspect right. What's the angle off the tail? Are we straight up the tailpipe? Are we 30 degrees off? Are we 65, 70 degrees off angle off the tail? And what's the closure? Do we have the closure under control? And if we have all of these requirements in place, so the distance, the aspect, and the closure are under control, we're able to safely deploy our weapon. And in our case, it's a simulated gun. But what my dad did back in the 80s was create a system that is looking for the other airplane out in front of the shooter airplane. So the P-51 Mustang's the shooter, and as we bring our guns to bear on the aircraft ahead and we squeeze the trigger down, that activates what we have called a tracking system, electronic tracking system, ETS, and that allows us to look for the other airplane out in front. Is it within range? Is the aspect right? Is the length of time of gun sight bullets on target for 3 seconds? So we would say, Pipper's on, we're tracking, the gun that Pipper's on and the trigger is down. If all of those requirements are in place, it activates the front airplane, in this case the Spitfire's airplane, to activate their smoke and determine if that person has gotten a kill, right? So this dogfighting concept is all about maneuvering your aircraft from a position of zero advantage, like this would be the neutral left-to-left pass, to a fights on and see who can maneuver their aircraft more efficiently and effectively to get into an offensive position behind the wing and then start to solve the distance problem using a series of we call low and high yo-yos, which is where we take an airplane, if we're noticing that the other airplane in front of us is too far, we would put the gun sight, the Pipper, out in front of the aircraft we're trying to shoot. So now we're doing what we call lead pursuit. And as we pull this lead on them, we gently drop the nose down and begin accelerating. We call this a low yo-yo. This creates closure. So now we're going to go from, say, 2,000 feet in trail to 750 feet in trail, but now we're not in a position to shoot. And we can't just go straight to guns from here because we still have a high rate of closure. So what we'll do from that point is pull up, put the lift vector behind the target aircraft, and climb up and outside of their turn radius. This helps us build distance and stop the closure. We call this maneuver a high yo-yo. Now we're into what we call lag pursuit. We're flying a larger radius outside of the radius of turn of the guy in the front, and then we work the nose back down into a firing parameter, pipper on, horizontal bar of the gun sight right across their wings, and open fire again. So low yo-yo helps us close the distance. High yo-yo helps us stop the closure. This is called lead pursuit, lag pursuit. Pure pursuit is when you put the pipper back on and the gun sight back on our target aircraft. Now we adjust the fine tuning of the gun sight by maneuvering the stick left and right to align the wings. Maybe walk the gun sight out in front of the other airplane for a little bit of lead to make the bullets have a place to fly and fall onto the target. And we get our kill that way, right? So we've been working this for over 30 years. People really enjoy getting that experience of what it's like to be a fighter pilot for a day. That's what my dad created and invented in 1986. That's what we've perfected over the last 30 years. And now, since COVID, I've created this franchise opportunity so someone could buy a Marchetti, get all of the knowledge and the systems in place, all of the approvals from the FAA to do this, and buy into the franchise, do what we do. And even if we get our building back in Fullerton, we have 6 aircraft. We have the ability right now to put 2 airplanes and 2 other spots on the map. Now, we've got experience in 27 cities, at least. Anywhere there's a yellow spot on our navigational chart, we call it our sectionals. Anywhere there's a yellow spot on the chart, we've most likely been there and been successful there. So if you have an interest in learning more about the air-to-air combat aspect and dogfighting these aircraft, 1v1, we call it 1v1 BFM, Basic Fighter Maneuvers. There's a franchise opportunity. Give me a call. We also have a franchise team, FMS, with Chris Connor. He'll walk you through the process, and we'd love to have you explore whether this fits into your life. And if it does, we'd like to make you a part of our family and do it with us. Now, since COVID, totally agree with the dogfighting. I love it. Dogfighting is what the end goal is. We love that. But what we've also determined is there's another opportunity for success and a smaller bite to take a try at this. And what we would recommend is let's use the Mustang, it's my favorite. What we recommend is get one Marchetti. After COVID, what we found is due to the situation with the city of Fullerton and being only a single ship capable company right now and flying only out of Long Beach with 1 aircraft, we've adapted the business to a 1v0 and have actually realized that this is actually a huge benefit for the client as well as the company. And for you as a potential franchisee, if this is something you want to do and you want to do what Air Combat's done and share the magic of flying with the world, the 1v0 is a way to step into this world with half of the cost and half of the responsibility and half of the complexity. So what I love about the 1v0, flying the Marchetti solo, it gives the client an opportunity to explore the envelope of the Marchetti and not be concerned about the other airplane initially. And I like this because we're able to go out and get your hands on the controls more aggressively sooner. You're able to get on the controls and fly right after takeoff and be able to just concentrate on your own skill set. Do you have a feel for the airplane without being concerned or with being distracted by having the other airplane right there in formation? Because it is a distraction, there's no doubt about it. So 1v0 is a really great place to start. And for you as a client or you as an operator, you're going to give your client a chance to do some gentle turns along the way, get a chance to see how the airplane maneuvers, see how the rudder works, and see what the throttle does. So kind of get used to the airplane. And then when we get out to the practice area, they'll be able to pull some G's for the first time, banking, centering, pulling, pop up, use that lift vector by moving the airplane up and over, kind of pointing the top of the canopy where you want to go, bank, center, pull, and work these gentle wing overs to get used to flying the airplane. We love that, okay? Then the next thing we do is allow them to do some light aerobatics, so some rolls and some rolling to the left, some rolling to the right. We'll do some loops, right? So you normally don't get a chance to do a loop in a dogfight. There's no real reason to just loop for the sake of looping, but in the 1v0 aerobatic profile, you get to loop the airplane, which is something that's kind of outside the realm of a normal dogfight, which is banking mostly, dropping the nose, accelerating to maneuvering speed, and putting the G's on. And a lot of dogfighting looks a lot like a steep spiral, right? With some oblique turns, but really nothing pure over the top in a looping environment. So I think the loop is another added benefit that we're getting in this 1v0 profile. That's also a lot of fun. Now, another thing we do in the single profile is get a chance to do a hammerhead. Straight up, step on the rudder, pivot, turn 180 out, and go out the opposite direction, which is super cool. It's another thing you normally don't do in a dogfight is the hammerhead. And the last thing we'll do in the 1v0 profile is a spin. We drop the airplane into a spin like you saw in the original movie Top Gun, minus the outcome of that event. But we get to drop into a spin and rotate a couple turns. We normally won't spin in a dogfight on purpose. It's not really a tactically good maneuver to do, but we get to demonstrate it and take you into the realm of stalling and spinning in the Marchetti in a nice, safe, controlled environment, again, without the distraction of the other airplane to be kind of get in your way, really. So those are the main maneuvers. And then, if there's extra time, if the profile was long enough, we can do some ground attack. You still get to use the gun sight, dropping the nose down, and attack targets from above like you saw in the new movie Top Gun, where we get to go down and point our nose downhill from, say, 5,000 feet and point our nose toward a ground target, something on the ground or something in the water, maybe a sailboat or something, and dive down towards them. And from a safe altitude, say at 3,000 feet, we open fire. And at 2,500 feet, we come off target and reverse course and do a damage assessment maneuver, which would be a climbing turn away, and then reverse back and take a look and see how it worked out. Of course, there was no bombs or anything dropped, so there is no splash or anything like that, but it gives you the sense of what it's like to do a ground attack like you saw in the new movie Top Gun. So that is a great way to get into this business. If you want to come play airplane and learn how to do the franchise as a single ship, the 1v0 package is a great way to start that, and we can put these airplanes in other parts of the country as a way to shield ourselves from a situation like happened at Fullerton as well. So the planes are in different areas. We're building the brand nationwide. We'll help you with your marketing. We'll help get your phone to ring. We'll handle some of the scheduling for you. And we'll be at your side while you're learning this business and becoming better and better at it so that you can get up to speed and be safe along the way. That's ultimately what we want to do, is do a good job, good shepherds of aviation, and promote aviation and protect the Air Combat brand while you're learning how to become a fighter pilot for a day business like we are here at Air Combat USA. So that's where we're at. That's moving forward. No matter what happens with the city of Fullerton, we have a franchise opportunity available for you. We're here to help you. We're here to make the process as smooth and as easy as possible, and it will cost a lot less than you think. So I've been doing this a long time. I'm happy to help. This is something that I'm really, really proud of, something that I'm honored to be a part of, and to share that enthusiasm and passion for aviation is what Air Combat USA is about. And I want you to hopefully get a chance to join our organization, join our family, and become a part of our Air Combat USA operation nationwide in the United States, or possibly in other countries, but right now the franchise is really only for the United States of America. So we're going to open this thing up to questions from you guys. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to reach out to us. You can send us emails, Michael@AirCombat, takingflightwithrocket@gmail.com. Leave us a message in the comments section below. I'd love to have your questions and to open up the conversation so that we could get this thing cranking again, 1v0, and then one day we'll all ramp up to the 2v2s again, and maybe one day we'll have a shoot-off in the center part of the country where all of the 1v0 operations that are out there would join in one specific location, like say in the middle of the country, where they can come in and we'll do dogfighting a few times a year, so that you can still play the BFM dogfighting game without having to do the entire 1v1 situation all year long. You might just decide, hey, I just want to do the 1v0s all year. And then once or twice a year, or 4 times a year, we'll meet together to do the 1v1s and dogfight other airplanes, and you don't have to handle that complexity all year long. So it's totally set up for a very small operation. Wherever you want to be, I'll make you successful. I'll help it be fun and exciting. You can tell I love aviation. Flying the Marchetti has been an honor. It has been a blessing. I've got thousands of hours flying the Marchetti SF-260. It is a wonderful airplane. I had the privilege and the honor of learning to fly in this thing. I soloed it at 16. If I can do it at 16 years old, you can do this, and you'll enjoy the Marchetti. It's like a P-51 Mustang, but scaled down. It's about 2,400 pounds. It's got about 700 pounds of useful load. We can carry up to 250 pounds in the left seat. It's also a great cross-country airplane. You can go 500 nautical miles in this thing on 1 tank of gas, and it burns about 16 gallons an hour. It's a winner. So get past the jitters. We're gonna make it possible for you. I'm super excited, looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. I'm looking forward to getting started in a franchise with you if that's what you choose, or you know what, if you want to buy a Marchetti, we can certainly do one for private ownership as well. So let me know. Again, my name is Mike Blackstone. We are at Taking Flight, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode.